Hi, it's time for another math easy solution. Time to discuss further into shifted conics and now look at an example, and that'll be example 1, which will deal with shifting a parabola. So let's just jump right in and look at this example, which states sketch the graph of the equation y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. So this is a parabola. It's just, the highest power is a square there, but it's not written in standard form, but we can get that by completing the square. So what we could do first is we'll just try to simplify this to get a better feel for this equation. So what we could do is factor out the 2. So we have 2x squared minus, then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 2x like this plus 1. Now what we want is, we want to get rid of this 2x, or just this x power of 1, make everything in terms of power of 2, and we can do that by factoring, completing the square. So this is what we want. We want to make this, or just remove this term, and remove this x there. So what we could do is complete the square. Let's put an arrow like this, complete the square. And we can do this. So what we want is, let's say, an x minus a. Recall from my earlier video on completing the square. This is basically, if we have a square like this, x minus a squared, this just equals to x minus a times x minus a. Now when you expand this out, x times x, x squared, x times negative a is, well, negative ax, and then negative a times x, negative ax. So we have a second one, just add a 2. And then this one here, negative a times negative a, that's just positive a squared. Yeah, so we'll actually move this arrow. So we have this one here, but then what we could do is, well, we could shift this all the way, and we want this to equal this right here, so that we could have this term x minus a, like that. In other words, in this case, a, to have this x squared minus 2x, that's right here, x squared minus 2ax, that's just a is equal to 1. So thus, a equals to 1, or I'll just write want equal. So that's what we want. We want it all equal. So a equals 1, and what we have is x minus a, or x minus 1 squared equals to, this just equals to x squared minus 2x plus, now it's just 1 squared. Like that, just 1. And now, in other words, we can separate this now by itself. So what we can do is move this over to this side. So now what we get is x squared minus 2x equals to x minus 1 squared minus 1, like that. And this is what this part equals, circle this part. So now what we could do is, well, throw this all the way inside there. So that's what we have is, so we have this part here is just this. So we could write, thus, the formula is y equals to 2, and then x squared minus 2x, which is, this part equals to this. Right here, I'll just box this out actually like this. And then this becomes like this, x minus 1 squared minus 1. This is the box around it, and then we have finally this other term plus 1. So, simplifying further, we get this, multiplying the 2 inside, we get 2x minus 1 squared, and then 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus 1. That just becomes, now finally, y equals to 2x minus 1 squared, and then this is minus 2 plus 1 is just minus 1. So there is our equation of a parabola. Yeah, so now what we have is, well, we want to graph this. So what we could do is, well, recall from my earlier video on shifted conics for parabola. So shifted conics, on the parabola video, or any of them, they're all pretty much the same thing. But this one's specifically for a parabola. In this case, what we have is the parabola y equals 2, and just remove this 1 and this 1 as well. Y equals 2x squared. This has a vertex of 0, 0. This is just the bottom of the parabola, or the top if it's negative. And then this basically gets shifted now, so that the new vertex shifted, where we have this equation above, y equals to 2x minus 1 squared minus 1, has a vertex. Now this vertex is going to be This is going to be, remember, you have to shift everything by 1 here to get to x. So x minus 1 plus 1 gets to just regular x. So this is going to be at 1, and this one here is shifted downwards. So whatever y equation we have, we're just minusing 1, so then it's going to be at minus 1 is the vertex, like that. So if we were to graph this out, what we end up having is, let's go like this. So we have something looks like this. Let's graph it more to this side. This is the x and y graph. So what we have is the vertex over there at 1 and -1, and we can see that as well by looking at the equation y equals to, that's right, y equals to 2x minus 1 squared minus 1. What we could do here is simply look at when you put, so at x equals to 1, this becomes all 0. So then we get y equals to 0 minus 1. This just goes 0. This is equals to minus 1. So again, that's, you could just do it that way. So we go 1 here, and then -1, oh, it's right over here, -1 is over here. Like that. And it's just a parabola, and it's going to be opening upwards because this is a positive over there. But we could also see, just to see what values here when x is equal to 0, just to get some proper values at x equals to 0, what we get is, if this is 0, we get y equals to 2 times -1 squared minus 1. That's just 1, so 2 minus 1 equals to 2 minus 1 equals to 1, like that. So then this goes over here at 1, like that, and this is just going to go like this, going upwards to it. And just a parabola is going to be mirrored on the other side as well. If this is distance is at 0, this is going to be at 2, and this is going to be across here at the 1 as well. So it looks something like that. So yeah, we get something like this. This is the 2 and 1, like that. And this equation is just y equals a 2, x minus 1 squared minus 1, and you could even see if you just plug in the 2. So at x equals to 2, what we get is y equals to 2, and then 2 minus 1 squared is x minus 1. That's just 1 as well, minus 1. This just becomes, again, 2 minus 1 equals 1. Like that. Yeah, so that's what it is. And now what we could do as well, we could just draw the original on y equals 2x squared, just to show you how it shifts. So this is, if we had it over here at the origin where the vertex is, this just goes up like that. It goes up like this. And this is just our, I'll just draw this a bit better, like this. And this is our y equals to 2x squared, and the origin is the vertex over there, and then this is just, well, shifted over here, just shifted. Actually, I'll draw a better arrow, so shifted all the way around. I'll just put the arrow like this, shifted over there. And where this point right here is just x, not x, this is going to be 1 and -1, where the vertex is over there. So yeah, that's all for today. Yeah, so a pretty basic, basic example, but I just wanted to go over it. Very interesting stuff, nonetheless, especially how you could do complete the square, getting it in non-standard form of the parabola, and then graphing it and seeing how it gets shifted and so on. Anyways, that's all for today. Hopefully you learned. Like always, you can download these exact notes in the link in the description below, as well as viewing these notes on Steemit in article format. And also make sure to check out my chat room on Discord, as well as my Reddit and Vote Math forums. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another Math Easy solution.